So here's my question. Which of you out there hears the word politician and immediately thinks, oh gee, they're swell? I admit, it's ridiculously hard to stay positive about the state of the nation these days, but now, more than ever, voting makes a difference. Hello world, this is Alexandra Cardinale, and you're watching The Meme Factory. Although it may not seem like it, your step behind the curtain, pull of the lever, punch of the card, tap of the screen is what makes the whole process work, and why we'll be spending billions to do it all over again in 4 years. I don't vote because I actually think it makes a difference, because it really doesn't. Especially in a place like New York or California, I could probably submit my bid for president as a duck in a top hat, and it would influence the election just the same. Nonetheless, I still vote. As it turns out, the presidential election is not a national race. It's actually a series of 50 state races. That's because of this wonderful thing we call the Electoral College. It worked brilliantly when our founding fathers didn't have 300 million of us to account for, only half of which ever actually vote. But you know politics, they adapt so well to the changing times. I mean, really, Congress? And they blame budget failures on the one guy sitting at a desk in the Oval Office. When you cast your vote, it doesn't count directly towards an individual candidate. Instead, you elect electors based on the population of your state. So California, with all its people, gets 54 votes, while something like Rhode Island, with population of like 8, only gets 4. Indirect representation is where your votes actually go. You elect people who then elect other people, and that's how the president comes about. So living in a solid blue state or a solid red state doesn't make a difference if you're in the minority. My blue vote in Houston is probably more likely to end up with a beer bottle whizzing past my head, and my red vote in San Francisco is more likely to culminate in a very stern letter about rights and personal liberties from my very gay neighbors.
Tell the spiders living in your skull that we'll look into it.
Good writing should never be predictable.
Then it's perfect.
So your vote only really counts if you're from a very particular place in a very particular swing state, like Ohio or Iowa. Nevertheless, someone like me should still vote, and here's why. One, as minuscule as the influence of one vote is, the influence is still there. And one vote is one part of the many that make up the big shebang. A democracy only works if everyone is involved and throws in their 2 cents. And two, and this one's the biggie, you vote on principle. We vote for every person who took a bullet overseas. We vote for every Martin Luther King, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Washington Franklin, Hancock, man, woman, and soldier who stared down the face of status quo and, even more terrifying, stared down the barrel of a gun to say, no, you don't get to run our country without the will of the people. You don't run this country, we do. History's heroes gave us our right to vote. We did not earn it individually. We earned it fighting as a community. That being said, the person who decides to act independently and ignore the ethical obligation of voting is denying that gift. In effect, actively saying that what social and political activists sacrifice means nothing, and that's simply untrue. So everyone out there, vote. Red, blue, even for the libertarians, I don't care. Contribute some time to being part of that larger national community, to take a moment to respect the people who gave you that basic human right, to be heard. Your entire world exists because of the change they fought for and the ideals they so adamantly believed in. Ultimately, voting is more for the morale of the country rather than promoting our own personal ideas. But luckily, there are times where your vote does count a little bit more. The local and state elections have a much more noticeable effect on our day-to-day lives. So like I said before, this election day, get out, know a little bit about the people running your country, and vote. If only to appreciate the fact that you can. So let me know, why do you vote? Or why don't you? Throw it down in the comment box below. That's all I have for you today, world. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe for a dose of news and satire on the daily, and you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and our website, www.thememefactory.com. This has been Alexandra Cardinale, and you just watched The Meme Factory. I'll see you on the wire. Signing off. Intro dance. Okay. As it turns out, oh god. Let's try it again. I did not like the presentation of that. Let's try it again. Very presidential. That's not. Okay. Have fun. Okay.